सिद्धि सदन हो मूषक वाहन दनि गनि दर नि दर दर नि म बद नि द बद म बद नि दर दर नि दर दर नि म बद म बद म बद नि द म बद सिद्धि सदन हो मूषक वाहन देव तुम्हारा करते हैं वंदन जय रुमल नंदन श्री गणेशा जय निर्मल नंदन श्री गणेशा गौरी दुलारे सुत महेशा जय रुमल नंदन श्री गणेशा जय निर्मल नंदन श्री गणेशा जय निर्मल नंदन श्री गणेशा।
Namaste Ganapataye Tvameva Pradyaksham Tattvamasi Om Namaste Ganapataye Tvameva Pradyaksham Tattvamasi Tvameva Kevalam Katasi Tvameva Kevalam Datasi Tvameva Kevalam Hatasi Tvameva Savam Kalvidam Brahmasi Savam Jagadidam Tvato Jayate Savam Jagadidam Twatasti Shtati Savam Jagadidam Twailayamishati Savam Jagadidam Twai Prakriti Savam Jagadidam Twato Jayate Savam Jagadidam Twatasti Shtati Savam Jagadidam Twailayamishati Savam Jagadidam Twai Pratiti Shri Jesus Lord Ganesh Shri Jesus Lord Ganesh Shri Jesus Lord Ganesh Mother, Father, God, you have given us Son, your Son. Mother, Father, God, you have given us your Son, your Son.
वंदन करूया माताजीला, महाशक्तीला, सहयोगिनीला. वंदन करूया माताजीला, महाशक्तीला, सहयोगिनीला. कीर्ती जयाची, त्रैलोक्याची मूर्ती असे प्रेम रसाची. कीर्ती जयाची, त्रैलोक्याची मूर्ती असे प्रेम रसाची. आरती तव चरणा, वंदन करूया माताजीला, महाशक्तीला, सहयोगिनीला. वंदन करूया माताजीला. सहजयोगाची प्राप्ती झाली, सहजयोगाची प्राप्ती झाली. ज्ञानदीपाची ज्योत लाविली, ज्ञानमार्ग लाविला. वंदन करूया माताजीला, महाशक्तीला. वंदन करूया माताजीला. महामातेचे भजनी झाले, श्री निर्मला माताजी, श्री निर्मला माताजी, श्री निर्मला माताजी. महामातेचे भजनी झाले, श्री निर्मला माताजी, श्री निर्मला माताजी, श्री निर्मला माताजी. चहूकडे वाजती नगारे, बाहुबली सुमना. वंदन करूया माताजीला, महाशक्तीला, सहयोगिनीला. वंदन करूया माताजीला, माताजीला, माताजीला.
Jai Shri Mataji, respected brothers and sisters from the global Sahaj family. Salam sejahtera dari Malaysia. A very warm greetings from Malaysia. Now let's keep Shri Mataji in our hearts and feel her love. And with complete reverence and love for our Divine Mother, let us bow down to her and pray. Param Puja Shri Mataji, we, your children from across the world, humbly seek your permission, blessings, guidance, and protection to have this online meditation today. It is only by your divine grace and blessings, Shri Mataji, that we are able to gather to worship your holy lotus feet collectively every week. Verily, you are the doer and the enjoyer, and hence we are ever grateful to you, Shri Mataji, for this wonderful opportunity. Our only desire, Shri Mataji, is to please you, to become the spirit, to ascend in our spirituality, and to be one with you always. Shri Mataji, our humblest salutations to your holy lotus feet, again and again, from all your children. Today, brothers and sisters, we are indeed very blessed and honored to have our dear brother, Avadut Pai Ji, from Nice, south of France, to be Shri Mataji's divine instrument. Born in Mumbai, India, Brother Ji received, or rather very fortunate to receive his self-realization from Shri Mataji herself in the year 1972 in April. He later got married to Sister Sylvia from France via the Sahaj marriage in 1985. And since then, he moved to France and has been very, very active in Sahaja Yoga as what he was in India. He continued his commitment to Sahaja Yoga in France and to the European world. For his commitment, dedication, we really adore you, brother. We've been trying to get our brother for a very, very long time, but since he was working during the weekdays, he was not able to commit himself, but fortunately, he called last week to say that he was free this week to lead the session and also share his experiences with Shri Mataji. Some of us may have seen him during the recent seminar held by several senior yogis, or rather the pioneer yogis in Kabela, in the vertical growth seminar, where he not only led the meditation, but he also shared several beautiful experiences. And he must have got all these blessings, not only from Shri Mataji, but also from his dad, who had been a very, very devoted Sahaja Yogi way back in the 70s. Let's put our hands together and welcome our dear brother Avadut Pai Ji to share his experience later part of the session, but in the beginning he will lead the meditation. Over to you, brother. Jai Shri Mataji.
Thank you, Jai Shri Mataji, Maheshwari Ji. It's indeed my pleasure to be part of you. And Shri Mataji has given me this opportunity to lead this meditation on this day. It's afternoon here and evening for you in the Asian countries.
Yes, brother.
So in the beginning, we'll just bow down to Shri Mataji. When we bow down, we'll try to put our Ajna Chakra on the ground, flat, and ask Mother Earth to absorb all the things which are blocking us, all the thoughts, so that the Ajna Chakra is clear for the meditation. So let's do that together. Now, before raising the Kundalini and putting a bandhan, just for a few seconds, we will ascertain if you are in thoughtlessness, if you are in the thoughtless state. And then very slowly raise the Kundalini with full devotion, reverence, and then put a bandhan. Throughout the meditation, we'll try to keep our attention on Sahasrara as far as possible. The beginning of the meditation, we'll just take the permission of Shri Mataji to go into the meditative state. Shri Mataji, we humbly ask your permission to come into your kingdom, your domain. We seek your blessings and your permission for this meditation session. We will say the three Mahamantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrar Swamini Moksha Pradayini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. So today we will say we will meditate on our Muladhara Chakra. The subject of today's meditation is the power of innocence. Before we worship Sri Ganesha, just try to remember what are his qualities. He gives us innocence, wisdom, and purity, which gives us pure attention. And in the purity of attention, we realize who our mother is and who we are. He is completely surrendered to his mother. He does not know even his father. He gives us the power of discretion and introspection. As if he hangs a mirror all over us so that we see ourselves all the time and not see others. He gives us the power to be surrendered to our mother. And this surrendered feeling we have always in us in all circumstances. And this surrendered feeling in us gives us a sense of complete protection where we are never worried, never disturbed, but see the situations we face as a witness without getting perturbed. We also have the complete assurance that whatever happens in our life is because our mother wants it to happen. And whatever is her desire is always for our spiritual growth and enhancement. Thus, the feeling of fear and anxiety about the future completely vanishes from our mind, and we feel completely secure. Many more qualities of Sri Ganesha, to whom we humbly bow. Whenever I keep a gap between when I talk, just keep your attention on your Sahasrara and continuously monitor the vibrations in your hand. So we can put our right hand on the Mother Earth and we'll just say 4 times the mantra of Sri Ganesha. Imagine Sri Ganesha sitting in your Muladhara chakra in each one of us. And we are saying these 3 mantras in front of the 4 times this Ganesh mantra in front of him, maybe as a arti, even with incense sticks. We say it very slowly with full devotion so that he is awakened within us. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. See how the vibrations increase. Just now we have heard some of the qualities of Sri Ganesha. Let's hear the Amrutani of Shri Mataji, wherein she describes all these qualities, the power of Sri Ganesha. She gives us a prayer. And most of all, she gives us the relation between Sri Ganesha and our principle, Mahalakshmi principle. So let's hear the Amrutwani.
There are so many deities who are working out things for you. But you have to be extremely careful that you do not develop this fear business. Because fear takes you to the left side, and once you go to the left side, the problems of the left side is, first of all, you go against Ganesha. Ganesha is standing at the base of the left. And then you develop cancers, you develop all these things, fear, and emotional problems, and all these things come. In emotions, you should be bubbling with joy. Joy is your emotion. In action, you should be thoughtless. And in assent, you should be surrendered. That's all. It's very simple. Three mantras are very simple for children. They are like that. But in a deeper way, if you see, who is Sri Ganesha? He is the child of Adi Shakti. She created him from the Omkara. Now, Omkara is the Logos, as you call it. It's the first sound when Sadashiva and Adi Shakti separated for creation. That sound is used as Omkara, which are vibrations, which have light in it. They have all the causals of all the elements. Only on the right side. Then left side, it has the power of your emotions. In the center, it has the power of your assent. So it's a very powerful deity we have. And he's playful. Children are seldom cruel. He's not cruel. But if anything is done against the mother, then he goes all wild. Then he punishes. And that is how the divine justice is brought to people. Thus, if we surrender to Sri Ganesh, he protects us, he gives us wisdom, he gives a proper understanding, the protocol of the mother. He does not know any other deity but his mother. He doesn't bother about any other deity but his mother. And he knows that she is the most powerful deity. And this is his wisdom, which must be imbibed. When you pray, you must try to imbibe that. For many people are still in the West anxious to copy other people, fall back into the wrong ideas, which have really kept them away from the truth. Thank God you all have come out of it. And when you see the hell into which the Western society has fallen, you try to understand and enjoy that you are at a different state altogether. But still among you there will be some who will be dangling. Try to pull them out, not to throw them inside and go also with them. If you sympathize with them, you will go down with them. Try to pull them out and tell them that you have to come out. It may be a little painful to them, doesn't matter, but they'll be saved. So you are here as saviors, and you have the power of Sri Ganesha, which is to be used. So today's puja is specially to be done with a prayer in your heart that Sri Ganesha, please be kind and merciful and forgiving, that you manifest within ourselves. Let all these hypocritical things, all these conditionings, and all these wrong ideas we have or all the wrong life we have had should just disappear like thin air, and let the beautiful moonlight of your soothing qualities of innocence be manifested through us. Let us manifest these qualities. So that is how you have to be honest in the essence of it.
Il faut être honnête dans son essence.
And the essence of honesty is innocence.
Et l'essence de l'honnêteté, c'est l'innocence.
Essence of sincerity is innocence.
L'essence de la sincérité, c'est l'innocence.
Essence of beauty, glory is innocence.
L'essence de la beauté, de la gloire, c'est l'innocence.
And innocence is the one that gives you complete detachment.
Et l'innocence, c'est cela qui vous donne le détachement absolu.
So to such a symbol of innocence, when we bow, we must know what we have done about ourselves.
Quand nous nous prosternons devant ce symbole de l'innocence, ayons le courage de faire face à ce que nous avons fait de nous-mêmes.
Whatever has been your past, get out of it.
Quel qu'a été votre passé, maintenant sortez-en, émergez de cela.
Be just the opposite of what has been so bad before.
Faites le contraire de ce que vous avez pratiqué à tort, des erreurs que vous avez faites.
Strongly against all that you were before in the darkness. And another point is that how much magnetism you have. So you reverse back to yourself. The magnetism is a magic of a person. A person is magnetic because he has certain magic. Now this magic comes from your own personality. From your own personality. So the basis of magnetism on the left hand side is stars, and that basis is Sri Ganesh. Sri Ganesh is the basis of that magnetism. So your innocence. Innocence is the best way to have that magnetism. Magnetism you cannot express in material way. It's not a material stuff. But it is something abstract. Comes from your quality of Ganesha, Sri Ganesha. Such a person is magnetic. Magnetic means that such a person attracts another person because of the weight of the person, because of the quality of the person. Such a person attracts, but does not attract for lust, greed and nonsensical things, but attracts another person because of the fragrance of love in this another person. Now it is always confused because it's such an abstract thing. So one must understand it in a very subtle way. What is this magnetism that one should have? Now a Ganesha person is not a person who is absolutely remorse type, or a person who is such a gone case that even if you beat him up and make him into a complete mince thing, he will bear it. It's not that. It's not that. On the contrary, the quality of magnetism is such that it attracts you to a point where you are not disturbed. Now this is a very important point we should know. You see, if you have other love like carnal love and all other love you have, then that love you may attract the person, that person can destroy, and it destroys you, always. But this attraction does not destroy. The attraction is up to that point that you are not destroyed, because you being much higher, much deeper and much weightier, you cannot be destroyed by a thing that whom you are attracting. Always a greater magnet attracts the smaller magnet. And that is what one should understand. This magic and this charismatic temperament of a person comes by, first of all, the Ganesha Tattva, innocence, and secondly, by complete dedication and devotion. Those who are completely dedicated and devoted to Mother, not to anything else, Ganesha Tattva again, not to your wife, not to your husband, not to your sister, not to your country, not to anyone but to Mother. Complete dedication gives you that charisma or that attraction. Now, how innocence develops in a person is by not thinking about it. Like you see, somebody asked me, how do you manage your income tax? I said, by having no income at all. Then they asked me, how do you solve your car problem? By not having any car at all of my own. They said, what about your house problem? By having no house of my own. Nihi, everything nihi for me. Say, how do you solve your this problem? By not having it. Just have, no, not having it. Don't take up headaches upon yourself. See, when you take up headaches upon yourself, then only the innocence is reduced. That headaches like this, that this is my shawl, this is my sari, this is my thing, this is this, this is this, this is this. But only one thing is that this is my mother and I have to proclaim her. That's all. If that is the way it is, then innocence starts rising like Sri Ganesha, and by having no other headaches. This is mine, that is mine. This mind business causes the problem, I think. Personally, I think this must be the reason. That this mind business, this is mine. Because whatever is mine. So somebody told me, this is a very good argument he gave. Whatever is mine is not I. Means that's not so. My body, my head, my everything, mine. But I, he gave me this idea. I. What is I? Then I is separated. Whatever is not mine is I. So what remains is your spirit. Somebody gave me this argument. I said it's a very good argument to work it out. Then whatever remains is I. And that I is the one we have to see. So you go on reducing all these minds. So the pure spirit of innocence will rise. Spiritual person is just innocent. Just innocent. There is no intelligence, nothing, just innocent. The whole thing is innocence. See, whatever he talks or says comes through innocence. It doesn't have intellect as such, which people have through reading and through understanding and by analyzing. Nothing of the kind. It just has pure and simple innocence. And it all works out very well. It's so clean. It just says what it knows, and what it knows is the highest. So this deconditioning has to be brought within us. But you should not discuss it among yourself. Also, once you start discussing, then you see, it becomes sort of a theological argumentation. There is no theology about it. It's very simple. It's the simplest thing is to be innocent. But the innocence is lost. Why? Because our attention is in different ways. We are attentive to other things. We are looking at other things. You see. It's so simple, So you can, it's like a fifth columnist, you see. The innocence is the fifth column within you. So if any person is innocent, you see, he'll work out on your fifth column and will make you alright. When you give bandhan to others, what happens? You actually bind him by your innocence. And the poor fellow doesn't know. He has his innocence within him. You capture that innocence. That's how you are there. That's how you manage. It's very simple to work out things. Only principle, the tattva, the whole thing rests on what that word is nothing but innocence. So try to develop this by all these things are neti vachanai nigumo avuchu. By saying not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, to all your thoughts, not this, not this, not this, not this. You reach there. Not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine. You reach there. And that is how it is. And you see the whole material world is now attacking the innocence because they are frightened. You cannot attack. Innocence cannot be destroyed. It cannot be destroyed. Innocence is something, is all pervading, and it cannot be destroyed. So whatever people may try, it cannot be destroyed, but it can be covered, it can recede, but it cannot be destroyed. It will act its own way. So try to develop that innocence, which is the basis of Mahalakshmi Tattva, we should say, or that is the essence of Mahalakshmi Tattva. So outwardly it is Mahalakshmi Tattva, but inside is, we can say there are three cores. The first core is Mahalakshmi Tattva, outside. To look at, you see the growth, all right. Then inside is the creation, that is all the elements being created and all that. But inside that is the desire. And inside the desire is the half one, you can say, is the Ganesha. So this Ganesha Tattva ultimately overpowers everything and permeates through everything. And this is, I would say, that don't think about it. Just allow your innocence to grow. Simple innocence and your dignity. That's very important to have your dignity.
Thank you, Shri Mataji, for this wonderful speech on innocence. We just meditate a few moments in the Mooladhara chakra. See what you feel. Always when you meditate, try to feel it inside. What do you feel inside? Feel some movement in the Mooladhara chakra. Feel some lightness. And even feel the joy. Sri Ganesha is present on all the chakras. And unless and until he gives the permission, the Kundalini does not rise through that chakra. Is the Vice Chancellor, as Shri Mataji puts it. Meditation is just being thoughtless. The other things are being looked after. And to be thoughtless on the Ajna chakra, so that the Kundalini passes easily. We will try to awaken his qualities on Ajna chakra. So we can put our right hand crosswise on our forehead with full devotion and that reverence to Sri Ganesha. We'll say Sri Ganesha Torashisha. Very slowly, full understanding. If possible, you can put your attention on the Muladhara chakra also. Om Namaste Ganapataye Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Tvameva Kevalam Kartasi Tvameva Kevalam Dhartasi Tvameva Kevalam Hartasi Tvameva Sarvam Khalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshat Atmasi Nityam Ridam Vachmi Satyam Vachmi Ava Tvamam Ava Vaktaram Ava Shrotaram Ava Dataram Ava Dhataram Ava Nuchanam Ava Shishyam Ava Paschatat Ava Purastat Avo Taratat Ava Dakshinatat Ava Churdvatat Ava Dharatat Sarvato Mam Pahi Pahi Samantat Tvam Vangmayastang Chinmayaha Tamanandamayastang Brahmamayaha Tvam Sachidananda Dityosi Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi Sarvam Jagadidam Tvatto Jayate Sarvam Jagadidam Tvattastishtati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvai Layameshyati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvai Pratyeti Tvam Bhumirapo Nalo Nilo Navaha Tvam Chatvari Vakpadani Tvam Gunatrayatitaha Tvam Dehatrayatitaha Tvam Kalatrayatitaha Tvam Muladharastitosi Nityam Tvam Shakti Trayatmakaha Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam Tvam Brahma Tvam Vishnu Tvam Rudra Tvam Indra Tvam Agni Tvam Vayu Tvam Surya Tvam Chandrama Tvam Brahma Bhurva Swarom Ganadim Purvamucharya Varnadin Tadanantaram Anuswara Parataraha Ardhendulasitam Tarena Ruddham Etatava Manuswarupam Gakara Purvarupam Akaro Madhyamarupam Anuswaraschantyarupam Binduruttara Nada Sandhanam Samhita Sandhi Saisha Ganesha Vidya Ganakarushihi Nichrubdi Gayatri Chandaha Ganapatira Devata Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat Ekadantam Chaturhastam Pashamankushadharinam Radan Chavaradan Hastair Vibhranam Mushakadhvajam Raktam Lambodaram Shurpakarnakam Raktavasasam Raktagandha Nuliptangam Raktapushpair Supujitam Bhakta Nukampinam Devam Jagatkarnam Achyutam Avirabhutancha Srushyadau Prakrite Purushatmaram Evam Dhyayati Yo Nityam Sayogi Yoginam Varaha Namo Ratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Nama Pramatapataye, Namaste Astu Lambodharaya, Ekadantaya Vignanashine, Shivasutaya Sri Varadamurtaye, Namo Namaha. Sakshat Sri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Divyai Namo Namaha. And take down the hand. Perhaps you have already reached the state of thoughtlessness, complete thoughtlessness. No thoughts are bombarding you. Now meditations, we say affirmations, we sing bhajans, we say mantras, listen to the music, hear Shri Mataji's talk. But are we thoughtless? This thoughtlessness we have to reach. If you still feel a pressure on the Ajna chakra, just put a cross with your Navi finger of your right hand and say, I forgive everybody. I forgive, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. You can even put a bandhan in the Ajna chakra, take it out. Okay. Here we have to see three things. We have to observe three things. First is the thoughtlessness, complete blank. No thought, like a rippleless lake in our Ajna chakra. We feel absolutely silent within us. Can literally listen to the silence within us. And you observe the cool vibrations in your hands. The attention on the sasra. This is a very important stage. You have to establish within us before we go and meet Shri Mataji in the sasra. So you just remain in this state for some time. The thoughts come, just look at them. They will disappear as when the sun rises, fog disappears. Now we can put our palm of the right hand on the Sahasrara, bend the head in front, and with full humility ask Shri Mataji her permission to come in her palace, in her domain. Shri Mataji, please forgive me if I have done any mistakes against your principles. Please accept me, your son, as your daughter. Give me the permission to be in your company. Let me just feel the joy of Sahasrara, the Nirananda. So while massaging, you can just say once the third mantra of Sahasrara. Om Tvameva Sakshat Sri Kalki Sakshat Sri Sahasrar Swamini Moksha Pradaini Mataji Sri Nirmala Devye Namo Namah. Before taking down the hand, just see, try to feel the vibrations coming out of the Sahasrara. You can feel it on the hand and on the Sahasrara. Then we can take down the hand. We'll all remain on the Sahasrara now. There we had our hand just a while back. So now starts the second phase of the meditation, the most important. First part is Nyasa, preparation, where you are doing something. The mantras, we say prayers, we say affirmations, we say listen to your talk, etc. Now in this state, we don't do anything, we be. We are in the company of Shri Mataji. Total silence, we absorb her vibrations through our sastra. We'll try to remain in this state for quite some time. Don't allow your attention to wander around. Just absorb the nectar oozing out from Shri Mataji. We'll remain in this blissful state of meditation for some time more. So joy giving. Before we stand up to do the Aarti and the three Mahamantras, the bottom of our heart, we thank Shri Mataji for the beautiful meditation she gave us, the very blissful state in which she took us. Thank you, Shri Mataji. Thank you again and again. Shri Mataji, we can all stand up, say the Aarti and the three Mahamantras.
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारक कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख सुख ही मिला उसको, बैठक दिल में ओ माँ, बैठक दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियारा माँ, कर दिया उजियारा। कलियुग में माया है, कलियुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधु संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधु संगीत सुन लो। हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका माताजी श्री निर्मला नमो नमः त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री स्वामिनी मोक्ष श्री निर्मला नमो नमः श्री निर्मला नमो नमः श्री निर्मला नमो नमः बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माता श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
Now we'll all just stay in meditation for some time, observing the vibrations. Before we raise our Kundalini and put a bandhan, let's put our right hand on the left heart, the left hand over the right hand. Just pray to Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, let all the Sahajis of the world become one and emit the vibrations of peace and love and harmony, so that all the tensions, problems, the wars in the world should stop. Let us be your divine instruments to spread the message of your divine love. Thy will be done. Jai Shri Mataji. And slowly raise our Kundalini and put ourselves a bandhan. Over to you, Maheshwari ji.
Thank you, brother, for the beautiful and blissful meditation. Really, really joy-giving to be in complete silence. Maybe now you can turn on your video. You can share in this meditative mood that we have. You can share your beautiful experiences with Shri Mataji.
Yes, I have put on my video.
Yeah, you can share about your beautiful experience, your journey with Shri Mataji.
Yes.
You know, you were one of the pioneers. Your dad was one of the first pujaris, I think, in Sahaja Yoga.
Yes.
So you literally grew up with Shri Mataji's guidance. So, you know, a lot of newcomers are here and also established yogis who have not seen Shri Mataji in person. So, you know, all of us having some experience, we can share whatever we have. The bliss, because we are all connected. Shri Mataji is in person or not, she's always with us. So
I don't know where to start. I will just, since we don't have much time, I will just share with you a couple of experiences which I had. The biggest experience which I had was when in 1974 we used to have public program every evening in Gita Mandir Hall. It's Bharati Vidya Bhavan in Chowpatty, Mumbai. So I was sitting in the front for the taping, and suddenly Shri Mataji looked at someone who came in, and she gave a very stern glance called Kataksh in Marathi. And when I saw, he was a big Sadhu Maharaj. He had come and he was sitting just behind. He did not take part on any realization program or anything. Afterwards, even when I went and purposely asked him if he wants his realization. And he said that, sort of with the hand, he said, just leave me alone. So then when Shri Mataji was about to get up and go, he came from the other side, and we didn't know what he was about to do. So I told some of my young boys, in case he does something, we should intervene immediately. And he came and he was about to fall at Shri Mataji's feet, like a coconut tree would fall. And just Shri Mataji stopped him with, I think so, her Ajna Chakra or thumb, I don't remember. And he just gave a big sigh of relief and he went away. And we didn't know what was happening. And later on, Shri Mataji told that he was a Hatha Yogi who had come from Himalayas. And he knew that I'll be here. As we all know that only Adi Shakti can give the realization. So these kind of people, when they on their own raise the Kundalini, get stuck up in Ajna Chakra, it's like 1,000 bees pricking him at the same time, very, very painful. And when I put my finger on his Ajna Chakra, the Kundalini went up, he got his realization. That's why he gave a big sigh of relief. And she said that they know me much better than you. And then she said that you, Sahajis, you just feel a little bit pressure on Ajna or on that finger, etc. But you don't feel much if your chakra is catching, because my umbrella of my protection is always there on you. So it was quite a very strong experience to see. And
Brother, can you turn on your video? Sorry to interrupt.
I had put on the video. Can you see my
Now it's on.
yes, okay. Because I was yeah, okay. I did not know whether it was you could see yes. So another thing which was really a very strong experience is that how she cleans our past deeds, we can say. So when I was in the college, like university, with the friends, we used to go for the outing. We used to go out for a weekend once a year. In that time, you know, as the young ones, they smoke, drink and all that. So they said, well, why don't you smoke and all? So sometimes I used to smoke 2-3 cigarettes. Of course, obviously that was after the realization. And once I went to Goa, and it was very cold. We were sleeping outside, and suddenly somebody started smoking. I said, give me one cigarette so that I feel the heat. And I smoked, and in 1 week, there was a puja. It was, I think so, Panchmi Puja, 6th of February, 76. I know all these dates because I was in studying and all that, so the year and everything. It's in Amruta, that puja, Panchmi Puja. So after the puja, every time we used to go on Shri Mataji's feet, and we were the terrace of Madam Acharya, who was one of the 12 yoginis. We had that puja. And when I went on Shri Mataji's feet, Shri Mataji suddenly said, Avadut, did you smoke? And I really was stunned. I did not know. I mean, my heart literally stopped. And I didn't say anything. And then Madam Acharya, she said, no, Avadut will never smoke and this and that. I didn't say anything. And this smoking business again continued for 2-3 years more. Every year we used to go out and 2-3 cigarettes a year. So in 1980 or 78, 79 something, sometime that time, we were in Raul Bhai's house in Dhulia, and there was to be a Havan. And that time we used to put our hand on Shri Mataji's chakras to to take out the vibrations or spread it around us. So Shri Mataji said that I want a boy or a man who has never smoked in his life to put his hand on my Vishuddhi. And everybody said, Avdut, Avdut. And I said, no, once she has caught me, I will not do it again. So I just pulled my ears, looked down and said, no, Shri Mataji, I have smoked. And the whole day I was with a Sahaja, his name was Suryavanshi from Rauri. And in the evening, there was a public program in Dhulia. And it was pitch dark, no light, nothing. We were just outside to see that for security reasons, and we were watching that everything goes on well. And suddenly I had the smell of cigarette. I'm very, very sensitive on that point. So there was absolutely nobody. And finally, I found that from my fingers, this smell was coming. I do not know, Vishuddhi fingers. I do not know if it was both fingers, but certainly the right one. And right finger. And then I told him, you see, I'm whole day with you. Suryavanshi, you are a proof I did not smoke. Said, yes. So we were staying with Rahul Bhai's house, in the house. Shri Mataji was on the first floor and we were on the ground floor. So then when I went home, I said, quickly wash my hands, very, very nice, with a lot of soap. And the smell was still there, very much there. It was as if I put my finger in a tobacco paste for 1 year. So it was smelling so strong. I said, now what's the problem? That time I used to go to Shri Mataji. So I went to her room. When I'm telling you, I can see that I'm entering the room. Anyway, so I went to meet Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji said, what's the problem? I said, Mother, I'm feeling the smell of the tobacco. So she took both my fingers in her hand, these Vishuddhi fingers, in 3 minutes, 5 minutes. She said, okay, now you see. I said, there's no smell. And then she said that because you have accepted that this morning that you had smoked, I have cleaned you. I have cleaned all your tobacco from you. I have taken it out. And now if you tell somebody that I've never smoked in my life, that will be true. That's not false, because that part of it, I've taken it out. And I said, yes, Mataji, I again promise. Then she said, you don't promise me again, will never smoke. I said, yes, Mataji, I will never smoke. So it was very strong experience. Then after about 15, 20 years, now in the West, I had this MRI scan of my brain. And I remember the doctor telling me, even there was a carotid Doppler. So both the doctors, some year difference, they said that we can see he said the brain is so clean. We know that you have never smoked in your life. When this carotid fellow, he said that it's so clean, there is no sign of cigarette. We know that you have never smoked in your life. He said, yes, it's true. So this is how Shri Mataji cleans us from our sins, our stupidities. So this is how Shri Mataji cleaned. And one last thing which I can tell you is, if you permit, you've got time?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So we were in this place called Nilambar, and I had the good fortune of staying with Shri Mataji for a year. And Shri Mataji used to go, come back and all that, but was there with other Yogis. So the daytime we had a public program or something, and then I was quite in the sun. I'm very sensitive to the sun. So in the evening we were with Shri Mataji. She was laughing, she was joking, but I had a very terrible headache because of the sun. And Shri Mataji said, what's the problem? I said, I've got such terrible headache. She said, come here. you put your right hand on my liver. I said, okay. So I put, she was sitting on the bed. I was sitting on the floor. She was talking this, that. And suddenly I felt like vomiting and even like a diarrhea, the toilet, very strong. So I said, I want to go. I said, yes, yes. So I went there and all the bile, everything came out from both the sides. Completely, I was cleaned. And when I came back, she said, how do you feel now? I said, yes, I feel absolutely light, very good, headache gone, everything is fine. So this is how Shri Mataji, she cleaned us even, she cleaned our past and she cleaned physically also. So these are some of the things which come in my mind at the moment.
Beautiful experience, brother, and I'm sure a lot of them will be inspired listening to your stories.
Yes.
And time to come, if whenever
Yes.
you're free, you can
Yes.
share with us more experiences.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you have plenty to share.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
beautiful meditation session today, and
Yes.
it really
Thanks.
lifts us up. And
Yes, I also felt very good vibrations on Sahasrara.
yeah, so
Really,
you can still feel the joy, the
Yes.
lightness that we feel, when we are meditating together.
I had that feeling that the Malaysians are very deep.
This is open to everybody, so it's not only Malaysia, but you have yogis from all over different countries. Those who are able to join us with the time zone.
Yes.
We have from Singapore, we have from Thailand, Indonesia, Japan. Many other countries join us, and I'm sure European brothers and sisters are also there. And some of them, they watch the recorded session because of the time zone, Australia, New Zealand. So thank you again for your time.
Thank
And
you much. It was such a pleasure. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. And then we like to thank Shri Mataji above all for sending you as an instrument today. And we'd like to also thank Brother Bhaskar and daughter Anusha for stepping in the IT section. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. And we'll see you again next Tuesday.
Yes.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.